friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are new, my name is Brenda and welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. And if you're returning, welcome back, and I appreciate all of you guys so very much. Today I am just doing a small video for you with a few Christmas gift ideas. You know, Christmas is right around the corner, and a couple of these I have made in the past for people but have not recorded it, so I thought I would share them with you today. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Here is DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I use this empty Bath and Body Works candle jar and a piece of vellum paper I got from Hobby Lobby. This I have made a couple of times for some loved ones, and it's very easy, and you can just do almost anything you want with it. So basically I start off by measuring the jar to make sure that I print out the picture to fit along that, within that jar. Then I found a picture I wanted to use, and I put my vellum inside my printer and I printed it out. Now you can make this double-sided if you want. I'm just really doing this as a tutorial to show you guys how to do this. I did this for my daughter, and I had my grandson help me. We took some nice pictures of him and added it on, and it's just a sweet little gift that can be very meaningful. So I'm just cutting this paper down to size, and then I will use some double-sided tape, and I'm going to tape the picture to the outside of the jar. Now, if you tape it on the outside, you can use a real candle on the inside. If you put it on the inside, if you put the picture on the inside, then you will more than likely see the double-sided tape. But here I'm just putting the double-sided tape on the back of the vellum paper and towards the bottom, and it's very hard to notice, so you don't really see it. So that's kind of why I do it on the outside. The inside you may see it, but you may even try using Mod Podge. It might work with Mod Podge. So you can do this a couple of different ways. Here I'm using the lid as a base, but you don't have to do that. You could use it just as a lid for this. And here I'm just cutting out another piece of paper to cover the back there. If you do this with 2 pictures like I've done in the past, usually both pieces of paper don't go all the way, and so there was like a little gap on the sides. I just took some pretty ribbon and stuck it there, and then you can like trim the top part with the ribbon if you're gonna use the base for the jar. Sorry, if you use the lid as a base, you could use some pretty ribbon at the top. You can embellish it in many different ways. But see, that you can do it that way, or you can use the lid on the bottom. And then you just put a tea light candle or some fairy lights in it, and it glows that picture at night. And I just love how this looks. And here I'm putting it on a candle stand. You don't, like I said, you don't have to put it on a candle stand. You could just do it like it is. You know, there's just a lot of different ways you can do this. So here I'm just tying a bow around the rim of that, where that lid for the jar is. And that's all there really is to it. If you're going to do it on a candlestick, you know, you may want to use some hot glue or super glue, especially to glue the jar onto the lid if you're going to use that as a base. And then of course using super glue or E6000 or whatever to glue the base onto the candlestick. And you could use any kind of candlestick for this. You know, the sky's the limit. This is just really to kind of give you guys an idea of what you could do with one of those Bath and Body Works candle jars. And there it is, and that's my Lexi, who recently passed, and oh, I miss her. Anyways, okay. So, if you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, my links to that as well as the Buy Me a Coffee are in my link tree in the description box. So here's DIY number 2. Now I know you've probably seen these before. My mom wanted one of these that hung, so that's what I'm doing here for her. So I'm using that Finial from Hobby Lobby, that round piece I got from Amazon, some racetracks from Dollar Tree, and that sign from Dollar Tree. And the chain, I end up actually not using the chain. I use some macrame cord instead. So I start off, I forgot to sand this. The last time I made this, I did sand these. So I do recommend that you sand these down. That helps the paint adhere a little bit better. But I am just using a very small paintbrush, and I am painting with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white inside the little cracks of that racetrack. The last time I didn't do this, and it was a booger trying to get all that orange covered up. And then once I had the that all painted, I am just measuring here where I want to put the holes, because I'm going to put some holes in it so that I can hang it. So here I'm using the crocodile. Now the crocodile doesn't go all the way through, so if you have a drill, it might be better to use that. Because the crocodile, it just kind of leaves a mark. So I'm just using my X-Acto knife here to go through that mark and to cut it open. So I do that on all 4 sides. And then after that, I am going to attach it. I did use hot glue. I'm going to put hot glue on the end of those race car tracks and then stick them in the middle of that picture on the bottom of it. So and then once I do that, I'm also going to put some hot glue around where it attaches, where the back part of it attaches to the box, as well as just kind of around the bottom feet of it. And I'm sorry, I'm getting my head in the way of all of that. So then after I had that all hot glued in, I took that round piece and I am just measuring here where the center is, and then I'm going to hot glue that finial cap on. Now you don't have to use the round piece wood. I've seen some that just have like a finial cap. I've seen some that have used little ping pong balls. I mean, it's really up to what you like and what you want to add to it. I've seen this done in many ways. I have not seen it done hanging yet. I'm sure somebody else has probably thought of it as well. But once I have those 2 attached, I'm just going to hot glue it right onto the top there as well. Oops. Almost dropped it. Oh boy. So then after that, I use my little brush to try and get off all the hot glue webs, and then I take it out and I spray paint it with my Rust-Oleum 2 times white spray paint. I think it's satin blossom white or something is the color. But unfortunately, I ran out of spray paint, so I do end up having to paint the bottom part with some regular paint. But here is where I decided I wanted to use this macrame cord instead of those chains, partly because I ran out of paint and I ran out of the spray paint and I couldn't paint those chains black, and plus I needed one more string of the black the links, so I decided instead to use this macrame cord. It's called Bonnie's Craft Cord. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and I believe you can get it on Amazon as well. I'll put a link in my description box for that too. So here because I'm going to use the rope and it's a little thicker than what that chain was, I'm just using my X-Acto knife to just kind of open that hole up a little bit more. And then I use tape on the end to push it through, and I'm just going to tie a knot on the end, and then I'm going to pull it close to the edge there. And I am going to use my lighter right after I cut off the end. I'm using my lighter because it does melt into itself, so that way it doesn't unravel or get all, you know how that rope can get all, I don't know, what do you call it? Anyways, it just helps it. So there I was just measuring to make sure that it was going to look okay when it hung. Then I decided, because you could kind of see some of the glue piles or puddles, I got some cardboard here, and I am just tracing it out to fit in the middle here there. And as you can see, I kind of cut the corners, and then I do cut little notches on the sides for where the rope is. And then I just set it on top of there. That way it kind of gives it a little more finished look. Then I took this, what do you call it? Some gemstone, rhinestone ribbon from Dollar Tree. I've had this for a while and haven't known what to use it for. My mom loves shiny, sparkly stuff. So I asked her if she wanted it just white, because she told me she wanted a white one. And I asked her, or did she want some of this bling on it? And she definitely said the bling. So it fit perfectly inside of those race car tracks. So I just cut it to the right size and just pushed it into the race car track. Didn't even have to use glue. Then at the top here, I just used another strip of that, and I kind of folded it over to fit. And I'm wrapping it around just so it makes it like the same width of the top of that finial, because the bottom part, it was thinner and it looked a little funny. So I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue, and I'm just making a band of that around that. Then I took some of this I got from Dollar Tree. It's a little thinner and it's adhesive rhinestones. So it's got 2 rows on the strip. So I cut it in half to be 1 row. And I'm just going to glue it to the top part of that box. Now, when I took off the backing, as you can see, it stuck to my fingers because the adhesive stayed on the backing. So you have to be really careful when you're taking the adhesive off, or taking that off of the adhesive. You kind of have to use your thumbnail to kind of push at the end, and then you can kind of see where the adhesive tape pulls off. So there, I just used a little hot glue on there, and then I went around and did the rest of the sides. And I also put some along the edges of those racetracks as well. And that's all there was. I'm just going to add some greenery and a candle there. And now all we have to do is put a hook up in her ceiling, and she can hang it. And she's very excited about this. And I think it came out really cute. You could do, you could do this in many different ways. You can look on Pinterest. I've seen so many ways they have done this, and it's always very pretty. So here's DIY number 3. Now, I got this idea off of Pinterest earlier this year, and I knew my daughter loves Friends, so I knew I wanted to make this for her for Christmas. So I got that round wood piece from the Dollar Tree for $5, and I'm just taking my Waverly chalk paint and the color ink, and I am just giving it a good coat of that paint. Now, as I'm painting here, all of a sudden I realize, wait, I'm going against the grain. I really should be going with the grain. So you'll see me stop here and start going up and down. So I'm going with the grain. So I would recommend painting with the grain. And then once I have it all painted and dried, I took this piece. This came from the middle part of the picture frame that I printed off of my Cricut. I did actually buy for $1.99. I did buy this design, and there I'm using my crushed velvet, I think it's called, apple barrel paint to paint in to make it look like Monica's purple door. So that's what I'm doing there. But I did buy that picture frame for $1.99 on Cricut Design Space. Since this is going to be a Christmas present for my daughter, I figured I could splurge on $1.99. I originally was going to try and make it out of molding clay. I saw a video earlier this year where that's how they did it. Sorry about my big head there, guys. I was just trying to see where exactly to place that frame. But honestly, guys, I don't know what's wrong with me lately, but I was really tired and not really in the mood to work with modeling clay or try to figure it out. So I went the easy way. But if you don't have a Cricut, that is a way you could do this. If you want to recreate this, is you can use modeling clay. And I saw a YouTube video showing you how to make the frame out of modeling clay. So once I had that all on, and believe me, it took me a while. It was giving me fits. I had also created this word welcome, and I put it on the top, and then I did the Friends logo with just I found the right font that I wanted to use, and I'll try and remember have those in my description box as well. and just made some colorful dots to match their logo. And there it is. And if you can't read it, what it says in the middle, it says, "How you doing?" Just like Joey used to say. I thought it'd be really cute. And the O is supposed to look kind of like a peephole, like on Monica's door. So my daughter's not really into bows. So I thought, well, okay, I'm just going to make a small bow with my black check ribbon. And then I'm just going to use some twine to wrap around the middle. Because, well, actually, I use a piece of floral wire to tighten the bow, and then I'm going to wrap it with the jute twine. Now, if your Dollar Tree doesn't have these round wood pieces, you can find them on like Lowe's and Home Depot. I'm not sure what the price is. I paid $5 for this one, but it is kind of small. You can also find them on Amazon. I'm pretty sure Amazon has them. And I think Hobby Lobby, Michael's, I think they all have some kind of round wood piece that you could buy. So once I have it all, the bow wrapped with the twine, I just tie a knot and I cut it off. And then I'm just going to dovetail the ends and hot glue it right onto the top. And that is all. Oh, I don't show you this, but I am going to be putting some D hooks, and I'll have a link for those in my description box, but I am going to put some D hooks on the back with some wire that my daughter can hang it with. And there it is. And I think it is so cute. And if you know anyone that just loves Friends, this is a great idea for a Christmas gift for them. At least that's my opinion. And here are the final reveal of the projects. I only did 3 for you guys today because I had a video on Monday, and I have a couple more coming out the end of this week. So have your notifications bell set, and make sure you subscribed if you haven't already. Make sure you like this video and comment. Oh my goodness, I gotta go. Okay guys, we will see you in a few. Have a good one. Bye-bye.